Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday.
Good morning, good morning. Oh, and there's an echo.
How was everyone's weekend? Hopefully it was lovely.
Hopefully everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day.
Did you wake up to snow like Utah did today? Northern Utah.
I had to drive home
That was
last
funny.
night and I wanted to cry.
It was, oh, I woke up.
So bad.
Oh, well, actually, Abby woke up and she was like, is that frost? No, that would be snow.
It's full on snow.
Full on snow.
Sweet
Like, you had to brush it off your car.
Yeah, it's going to be snowing in June.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Welcome to Utah.
Yep, that's how it is. So today, my name is Sarah, and this is Rachel.
Hi.
And we are going to be working on all things ombre today. So we're going to be working on some gel polish ombres. We're going to be working on some glitter ombres. We're going to be working on some chrome ombres. And we're even going to work on the ever necessary to learn baby ombre. This is to create a baby boomer. So Rachel is going to show us how to do that.
Yeah.
So we have lots of things to teach you. We're going to hop right into it so that we don't take up too much of the time just chit-chatting. But I do want to say one thing is that my nails are now 4 weeks old. I have on the Sweet Treats collection. They are still fantastic and wonderful.
Like not
That
even,
apple sour, still my favorite.
Not even discolored.
No.
A little bit.
Nope, still
Wild.
glorious. So if you haven't gotten your Sweet Treats collection, it's a good time to get it. They are fantastic. My suggestion would be to use Like a Diamond as your top coat because it has that UV inhibitor and that's going to help your pastels stay brighter and not fade in the sun and all of that if your client is going on vacation. But I haven't had any fading and we did not use Like a Diamond. We used Don't Be Tacky. So yeah, just loving the Sweet Treat collection. So grab yourself those.
Yeah, they're incredible.
All of these products can be purchased at magpiebeautyusa.com, or, of course, if you haven't already, download the Magpie Beauty USA app. You would just search for Magpie Beauty USA in your app store. Download the app. You're going to log in with the same information as the website. If you don't have a login, then you would create a new one. And then you allow for notifications. That's just going to tell you when we're live, when we do lives inside of the app. And then, or if there's a sale, or if by chance a very popular product has come back in stock that people have been questioning about, that's when we would send a push notification. But if you allow for notifications, then you will receive a 10% off your first order discount code. So take a moment and download the app if you have a chance. All right, we're going to hop right into it. I'm going to start with a gel polish ombre. And we are going to do the vertical ombre, which is up and down, which is the easier one. And I'm going to be using two colors from the Mother Earth collection. I'm going to be using Rosemary and Thyme and Willow Tree. When you're doing an ombre, there are lots of rules that we have to follow that I'm not going to go over in today on today's Instagram Live. But my best tip for you would be to choose colors that are similar to each other, or if you look on a color wheel that are what is that word? Where they like go well together, like complementary colors. What you don't want to do. One of my worst times ever as a nail tech was a client came in and they asked for a black to white ombre. I should have said no. That's a big no for me. I didn't know enough about blending colors. I didn't know enough about how to create a black to white, which is very technical. So choose colors that are going to blend nicely together to make your life easier. So orange to pink, always a good choice. Yellow to orange to pink, always a good choice. You can do as many colors as you want. You just need to have colors that blend well. Green to blue, always a good choice. Things like that.
But if you're wanting to do an ombre, say, of like a red to black or something that's like two very severely different colors, like you have to mix them. You have to mix a mid-tone color.
Yep,
just
you
to
have
make
to
your
have a
life
mid-tone.
A little bit easier.
If I wanted a red to black, you know what I would use? I would use black.
Cruella.
And then, I would use Cruella, or I would use, these are super, super close. I think I'm going to switch and choose two different colors so that you can actually see what I'm doing. But I would choose black, and then I would blend Pandora over it because it turns red. That would be my hack.
Would be really cool looking.
Okay, I'm going to wipe this off, and I'm actually going to choose two other colors. So give me 1 second.
Bummer.
Those are just too close together. I mean, they would make a lovely ombre, but for the sake of showing you how to do an ombre, it's just not ideal for today's demonstration. So, since they're right here, let me choose Jelly Baby, and Fizzy Peaches. So these are from the Sweet Treats collection. So we have a pink and a sherbet orange. And these are going to just be more pigmented and easier for you to see. Now, don't worry. Okay, so what I would always suggest is, like, before putting it back in there, you just want to wipe off the tip where the pink pigment went. But this is on our first layer, and it's not going to be perfect. And that's okay, we can just cure it, and then our next layer can be even better. Now you could just apply the two colors next to each other without blending and go in with an ombre brush, and you would put this up and down the center and blend those two colors together. That's also an option. But I find that especially if I'm doing a vertical ombre, I just do it with the polish brush, and it makes my life easier. When we do our horizontal ombre, I will be using the ombre brush. This is the Magpie ombre brush, and it is fantastic. It has really good buoyancy in the bristles, which is lovely to work with.
It's a great term.
Buoyancy. Really good bounce. Really good bounce to the bristles. And since this is, yes please, since this is just a nail pop, I am going to only do a 30-second cure, but all of the Magpie gel polishes are a 60-second cure in an LED lamp, and we do suggest the Magpie lamp. It is a fantastic lamp. All right, going in with our second layer.
Are you gonna use this dry?
I am gonna use it dry. Did it get cured?
Yeah.
Whoopsie. Okay, so butting these two up together, taking a little bit more care than I did the first layer, making sure that my colors are right next to each other. Now I could take the pink bristle and blend those, or take the orange bristle, and since I have the orange bristle, I'm just gonna blend, blend, blend right down the middle. And this is just with a very light feathery touch. Now if you can see, I got some orange onto this side. So what I'm gonna do is kind of wipe off my bristle to wipe off the orange that is on the tip, and then I was able to fade that away. But just going back in, just with a very light touch. There you go. Beautiful ombre.
Cute.
If you wanted it to be more intense, you could go back in with a bit more orange. And this is where you get to play until you're happy. Now what I've done is I've taken my orange too far over here, so I'm going to go back in with the pink and pull some pink over. Very, very, very light feathering, and create the ombre that you're happy with. Now what I would do over this, if this was on my client, is I would put like the hollow glitz top coat, or the Top It Off pink glitz, because it's going to pump up the amount of sparkle, and it's going to fade away any of the lines that I might not like. So, and if you'll put that in there for me. Thank you, thank you. So that is how you do a vertical. Vertical, I would say, is the easiest ombre, for
Absolutely.
sure. For sure.
And it's so cute. It really is.
KH_therapies, thank you. I do like doing vertical. When I do the horizontal in a moment, you might be able to take that back, because it's not easy. It's not easy. It just takes a lot of practice. So the colors that I have chosen for my horizontal ombre are a little cutie, FUNTIME Frankie, and Coraline. No, Coral Reef.
Coral Reef.
Not Sweet Coraline in any way. That was
You're very close.
very close. Coral Reef. So these are 3 tones of quote-unquote pink. The odd one out would be Little Cutie, but that one is going to go at the bottom. Now, when we're talking about a horizontal ombre, one thing that you want to think about is that we're going to have small amounts of the orange colors and a bigger amount of this one. Because in the end, as we pull it down, there's going to be a small amount of Little Cutie at the bottom. So whatever is at the bottom, you need a bigger amount so that as you pull down, it gets smaller. You don't want to start with very little of the, in this case, Little Cutie,
Right.
because you'll end up with none.
Yeah.
So just remember, we're pulling downward. We need as much as of the bottom color, otherwise it will fade away.
Do you blend the two on top before you do the bottom one? Like before you add the bottom one? Or do you just
I
do
do
them all
not.
together?
It depends on the tones of color that we're using. If, say for instance, we were doing black to white, then I would make those in between colors and I would blend the top colors and then blend the bottom ones. But this one, I'm going to just use the back and forth method and walk down. That actually looks like ice cream and that looks like fun.
Yummy.
So this is the Magpie Ombre brush, and we're just going to use the back and forth method, which I haven't done this in a while. And again, this takes practice, so please don't judge too harshly. I'm just trying to show you the techniques, and then you can go and practice some more. The bouncing technique back and forth has always been something I've struggled with, but slow and steady, and then you can wipe out any excess.
The top color is Coral Reef. The like deeper coral one. Coral Reef and FUNTIME Frankie and Lil Cutie. For coat number 1, that looks real good.
Hey, thanks. And you can go over this as many times as you want. And
You run out of
because,
product.
yep, you just don't want to take off too much, right? We want to leave behind product.
Right.
But the Magpie colors are self-leveling. So even though I'm bouncing into them and it's kind of making it look a little bit shadowy, shady, don't worry, keep going.
Not forming stiff peaks.
Correct.
Not whipping it into shape.
Correct.
Just a light bounce.
All right.
Yeah, that looks
So
really
this is
good.
our first layer. I'm going to give that a 30-second cure, and then we'll go in with our second layer. And really, the first layer is just adding that amount of color in the background. It's the next layer that matters. So if you think like, oh my gosh, my client's going to freak out, just tell them you have to trust the process. So in that one goes for 30 seconds. Again, just remember it's a 60-second cure with the Magpie colors.
But
I'm
it
getting
helps when you have a good base to start with, even if it's not perfect on your first coat, as long as you have some sort of blend where you want your ombre to be.
Yep.
That's the helpful part.
That
if it's
really
like
is.
halfway down the nail and you're like, it's not even blended yet.
Yeah.
Maybe reconsider your
Try again.
color
Try again.
choices.
Try again. Try again. I'm getting the first two hard ones out of the way.
Yeah, you are.
The rest of these are a breeze, but these two are the hard ones. These are the ones that really take a lot of practice. So don't be frustrated by the process. All right, second coat, here we go. So here are our three colors. We have Coral Reef, FUNTIME Frankie, and Lil Cutie. And then using a clean ombre brush, you can start up at the top and start all the way down. I've seen plenty of people do that. I don't, just because what if I want to go back? I need to have the color up here to pull down. I don't know why, I just kind of start right above where the blend starts. And when you see those videos where they're doing this, remember that they're going slow. Even I'm going pretty darn fast because we're on a live.
Right.
But they've sped up the video. So they're not really like going back and forth like that.
Yeah.
Unless they have had lots of practice. But really, they're just going slow and it's like back and forth.
This is a labor of love.
Back and forth. It is a labor of love, which means that you should be charging accordingly.
Charge your worth.
Absolutely.
Do not do this for free. You'll be killing your business.
Yes.
That looks really good.
Thank you.
For not having done nail art in a while and for not doing ombres, like ever, you're
For not having done
killing
it
it
in quite a
in
long
hot
time.
minute. Oh, that
Yeah.
looks really good.
Very good. Okay, so if we look up close, I'm going to show you all the nitty gritty. If we look up close, you can still see where the colors are blended, right? But when you put top coat over this, all of that is going to fade away, and I'm going to show that to you. So I'm not going to go back over this. I'm not going to go through and like fix this blend right here, which is what I want to do. Instead, I'm going to show you ways, because if we were doing this in the salon, you don't have hours and hours. So this is where practice comes into play, and you will get better over time, where this blend will be better, maybe that blend will be better. But your client needs to get on with their day, right? So we're going to just move on. We're going to say, that's pretty darn good. We're going to cure it. And then I'm going to show you 2 different options and what it will look like. What you don't want to do, if you have something like that where you can see those blend marks, you don't want to put matte top coat. That's a no-go. Because matte top coat is going to highlight the issues. It doesn't have any light reflective value, and so therefore we see every flaw.
Right.
So if you don't like what it is, do not allow your client to get matte. Tell them you're out of it. Tell them whatever you have to tell them.
Don't have that.
But don't put matte top coat on. Instead, put on a shiny top coat, which I have to go grab.
I have Don't Be
You have
Tacky.
Don't Be Tacky. I'm gonna get one more.
Get the pink one.
Pink lips and just show the differences so that people can see all the options. Okay, so we have Top It Off Pink Glitz, we have Don't Be Tacky, and we have Velvet Top. Now, I just said don't put matte top coat on here, but I want to show you what it will look like. So I'm going to, as if I was going to go through and finish my client, you would take off the tacky layer when we're using matte top coat, and then going in with Velvet Top.
I also have a velvet over here.
Oh, you do? You are so prepared.
That's okay.
I'm going to put on my matte top coat. We're going to give this a cure, and then we'll go in with our shiny top coat. All right, will you cure that for 10 seconds? Please. Velvet top coat is a 60-second cure. Again, we are only cheating it because we're on a little swatch stick. Excellent. Okay, so with a matte top coat, you can see every flaw. Now you can really see where that isn't blended. You can see where this, I kind of cheated and didn't quite pull down the color. You can see really well how this isn't so pretty, right?
And anywhere there's like dips and shadows and
Yep, you
whatever,
can see all of them.
Like you will bring attention to that immediately.
So if we don't want to do that, don't allow your client to have matte top coat. Instead, if we put shiny top coat on, which this is Don't Be Tacky. Now, I did just point out all of the flaws, so you'll still be able to see them, but not nearly as well. Like even right here, you kind of have to look for it because it has the light reflective value, okay? So that's with just regular Don't Be Tacky. Then if you were really self-conscious and you were like, this just isn't my best today, but your client has to move on, then here is the Pink Glitz Hollow Top It Off, which is our no wipe top coat that has shimmer in it.
That's so pretty.
And now we have this beautiful fade. You can't see any of the errors, and then your client's like, wow, that is like the coolest, and off they go.
It's jazzy.
It's jazzy. Okay, so there's lots of different ways while you try to perfect your ombre to still offer it to your clients and still send them off with something that they will love as you get better. Okay? So those are all of my tips for ombres with fantastic gel polish.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Love that.
Okay, next up, we're going to turn it over to Rachel. What are you doing?
I am gonna start with a hard one.
Ooh.
I'm gonna start with a baby boomer. So this is a very, very subtle baby boomer. I like mine to be just very soft and just
So
kind
pretty.
of dainty. But it makes it easier when you're using baby to get it a little more like soft and dainty and a little more like natural looking.
So really quickly, baby is our white
yeah,
pigment, and that is what you would use to make baby boomers. So she is going to show you every step.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I have on right now, I have a layer of Come What May underneath this. And I...
Do you have one or two?
Just one, but I did a real juicy layer, so it was really just kind of even and more full coverage.
Perfect.
And I'm going to put a layer of Velvet Top on top of this. Can I have a wipey?
Absolutely.
For the sticky layer? And I would highly, highly, highly suggest to do this if you are going to attempt a baby boomer with baby. Wipe off your inhibition layer before you put on your Velvet Top, because you don't want to have like streaks of your inhibition layer through this that are going to hold on to that baby. So like you can see as you do this, there are lines that are being created every time you make a streak. And when you have an inhibition layer on, those lines are half matte, half shiny. So anytime you're using a pigment or a chrome or a glitter or whatever, you're putting something on top of that and you don't want it to stick to anything, and that's why you're using velvet top. It will stick to the shiny parts.
So you'll
have like lines of white in your baby boomer, which is not ideal.
So be sure to wipe off that tacky layer first.
Yes, and then I'm doing velvet top and I'm doing a full cure, which in this case is 30 seconds.
Right. Usually it would be 60 seconds, yes.
Yes, but you know, we're on a live. It's fine. It's going in the garbage after this.
Yes, it is.
But baby, if you haven't used this, is a super, super fine powder. If you haven't used Magpie pigments before, they are very, very pigmented. Very concentrated pigment dusts, but they're so fun to use for any kind of ombres, or if you just want to play around with some sort of like smoky effects. Like this is really fun to use for different kinds of nail art. And then there's the neon pigments, and then there's Cruella, which is the black pigment. Like all very, very fun, very easy to use once you get the hang of it. So this is cured enough that I'm going to just go right into this. I have, about this much on my brush, however much that is. It's not a ton, but I will tap off the excess, and I just want this so that I can mark out where I'm going to have the most concentrated white, which is just on the tip. And I'm just lightly tapping with my applicator brush, just very, very lightly. And I'm very, very, very gently just kind of going up. And then you can see the line is getting, like, it's still kind of heavy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just kind of get some of that pigment out of my brush. Just lightly kind of flick it out or roll it around on a brush, whatever you want to do. And this takes a little bit of working with it because pigment likes to stick to the mat. But I'm just gonna...
So you're just feathering it up?
Yeah, just kind of like buff it around.
No harsh lines, right?
Oh, no.
Mm-mm. That's pretty.
It's like eyeshadow.
Yeah. And I think it takes patience of like blend, blend, blend.
It does. But it also helps, the next step is to put some Gimme Strength over this. And I usually use like ROSA. So I have a little bit of like a pink camouflage over it. So it kind of helps disperse if I have like a more heavy line. Usually I don't go up that high.
Well, that was easy and fast.
That was super easy. That's like the fastest baby boomer.
That was super easy.
I would do this any day over doing
gel polish.
Gel polish. I would cry if I had to do a gel polish.
An ombre with gel polish is a no.
Well, when you're doing a baby
so
boomer.
Hard.
But any other time is fine. But I just am going to use my ROSA Gimme Strength, which if you don't have this, this is my secret weapon. This is my favorite thing to use. Just over like a base coat is just the prettiest like camouflage pink. But this over the top of this little ombre that we just did makes it look a lot more natural if you don't want a harsh line. And
now, when you do that, are you dragging? Right?
I'm very, very, very
lightly pulling. So you're not dragging.
I don't want to bring lines through. And you can see in my brush, I have a little bit of pigment that got picked up that was at the top.
Okay.
I don't want to really pick up pigment if I can prevent it.
I see.
So I'm just very lightly streaking over the top.
I've actually never done a baby boomer, everybody, so I'm learning right along with you.
But that's what it looks like.
Oh, that is
before it's cured.
beautiful.
And it just is like very soft.
I wish I could give you some hearts. I can on your phone. I'm going to give you hearts because that is fantastic. There you go. I just gave you hearts. That is so beautiful.
But it's so easy.
Wow.
And then I'm going to cure this, and then I would just do a layer of top coat, whether it's Top It Off or Don't Be Tacky or like a diamond. But that is just like
that
the
is
easiest
stunning.
baby boomer. And this is super fun to do with the neon pigments as well. And just do like a fun neon ombre tip.
Beautiful.
Like, it's just a good time.
I'm going to give you a round of applause for that. Well done.
I don't think I've ever done a baby boomer on a live before, so
No,
that
you
was
haven't.
fun for all of us.
That was very,
It's
very
fun
good.
for us to experience that together.
Okay, Rosa is a game changer.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it is. Rosa's my favorite, but it really is just like the camouflage that we all needed,
Yeah.
just to soften that up a little
Now,
bit.
what if instead of Come What May, I used Forget Me Not?
You could.
Then would I have used the peach?
You could. Peach would make it a
Peach,
little bit more
give me
nude
strength.
than pink.
But
So-
Forget Me Not is also more nude. So
Yeah.
as far as
So,
color,
yeah, if
pairings?
you want more of like a nude baby boomer, then I would do Forget Me and Not underneath instead of Come What May, and then you could still use Rosa over the top, and it would be kind of like a nude pink. But peach would add.
It would give that.
It would make the white a little bit more less white. Like
Okay.
it wouldn't be, because the pink is just, it's kind of like using like a purple shampoo on blonde hair. Like it just tones it.
Okay.
So it's not a super harsh white, but the peach turns the white to more of like a ivory,
Okay.
I would say. It's less white than peach.
But I'm thinking also of like skin tone.
Yeah.
So being able to play with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Like your client Sita,
yeah.
if she didn't want pink and she wanted more neutral,
Yeah.
then you would choose the other option. Okay.
I probably wouldn't even, I would probably just do it on just on top of like the Gimme Strength Rosa, because that's what I use on her
Okay.
anyways.
Okay.
I would just do the baby boomer straight on top of that, and then go over with another layer of Rosa, because then
Oh,
it's
okay.
very sheer and it's very subtle and it's just
So
soft,
that's a
and there's not
couple
a
of
ton
different-
color. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's
excellent.
That's, I don't know. It's just a fun thing to play around with, but
Yeah.
you know,
different
just
color
play around
options.
with all the gimme strengths and see what you like the best. Here's
It's great.
that guy.
That was fantastic.
She's a cutie. Woohoo. And then the next one is a lot more messy and is so fun. This is one of my favorite things to do. We are gonna do a chrome ombre on this guy. I have a layer of Baby Blossom. If you don't have Baby Blossom, this is such a good color. Just like a very light peachy nude. And I am going to find my Don't Be Tacky. And I'm going to Don't Be Tacky straight on top of this guy.
Now she has not removed the inhibition layer.
Nope.
We talked about that with the velvet top, but you don't have to remove the tacky layer if you're putting on a shiny top coat, only if
Yeah.
you're using the matte.
Yeah. All right. And then we'll cure this for the full 60 seconds, because
Now-
I don't want it to
Yep.
be
With Don't Be
suspicious.
Tacky, you definitely want to go the full 60 seconds. And with Don't Be Tacky, especially when you're doing anything with chrome, you need to make sure your client's hand goes in the lamp correctly. No halfsies in the lamp, no shoving to the back, nothing like that, because you need the light to fully cure all of the Don't Be Tacky, and then this will work every single time for you for
Yeah.
chrome. Every time.
Yeah.
If they cure it properly.
Yes.
The next tip would be that you need to apply your chrome immediately when it comes out of the lamp.
while it's warm, fresh out of the oven.
Fresh.
And I'm going to do some Aurora. If you guys haven't played with Aurora, she is a beautiful silver holographic
Supercharged, hollow.
super
It's crazy.
super hollow.
So pretty.
She's so stunning. It looks super silver in the bottle, but it depends on what you put it over, because it's not always silver. This is one of my favorite
This
kind of
over
things
Ice
to
Lolly?
use with it.
This over Ice Lolly
Yeah.
is so cute.
But this is my favorite way to use it, is over more of like a sheer nude or like a semi-sheer pink, something like this. And with my applicator brush, you could use a chrome tool, you could use your finger, you could do whatever you want, but I like to use an applicator brush for this just because I feel like it's very soft. And I'm just gonna pick up some, and kind of the same as I did with baby, and I'm going to just kind of buff it on the tip.
It's already so pretty. Now she used less is more on her brush.
Yes.
Because what you don't want is more chrome to fly up and stick up here, because you do want it to be a fade. So less is more when you're doing this technique.
Mm-hmm. And then if I want a little bit more intensity at the tip, I'll just apply just a little bit more.
So pretty.
It's so pretty. It's such a stunning effect, and it's so simple.
It really is so simple.
And I don't go more than halfway up with my blending. I leave the whole top half untouched, because I just want it to be very minimal, very subtle. There's a spot right here where it didn't
It might not have
stick
seen
very
the
well,
lamp very well.
but that's okay. It's just a nail pop, and when you top coat, nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. And then when you're doing chrome, always buff very, very lightly, just your free edge, just so that chrome isn't going to chip away. Because when you are top coating over chrome, you want it to stick to the gel that's underneath the chrome and not the chrome itself, because it's kind of like a sandwich, you know, and then there's chrome in the middle, but you want the bread to meet. You want the two ends to meet.
On the tip.
Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah.
you can definitely use your finger. Boop.
I usually use my finger when I'm actually doing nails, which is kind of funny. But I'm usually wearing gloves when I do nails, and so it kind of acts as like a silicone tool almost.
Mm-hmm.
So that is another way to do that.
This one?
Don't be tacky. I want this guy. And you could cap this with Gimme Strength or Rubber Up or
Rubber Up.
Get
I
a
actually
Grip.
like to encapsulate this with Rubber Up because it does have that flexibility with it.
And then go back over with like your Top It Off or like a diamond, or in this case, Don't Be Tacky.
Boop. So pretty. So pretty.
But it's just such a pretty little simple ombre. It's so easy and it's so fun. And you can do that with any chrome, especially it's so stunning with like the iridescent, like semi-sheer ones, like Pandora and Shelly and Sinead and Anona and you know
all the good
of
sheer
those.
sheer
It's
chromes.
so pretty.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, we are going to switch gears, and while that finishes curing, I'm going to show you a glitter ombre. So in this case, I have chosen to use Angela and CHERYL, which are two glitters that came out with our most recent Glow Getter collection. I guess not most recent, now we have the CUTIE collection, but
Yes.
it was released just not very long ago. These are metallic, they are super fine, and they are holographic, which makes them a fun glitter to play with.
It's a triple threat.
So
Those are so stunning. Like
they?
just the tops. Are you kidding?
so pretty.
Do you see that holographic? Oh my gosh.
Gorgeous.
I freaking love this pink. I love Angela.
Such a good one.
Cheers.
Boop, bing, bing, ching, 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 ching. All right, so going in with my applicator brush, I've made sure to clean this out really, really well because I don't want any dark pieces that might be lurking deep down inside of here. So I just am trying to clean that out super good. I'm going to go pink to silver, which means that I want more pink, so probably a little bit more than half, and then I'm going to come up with the silver and blend in the middle. So going in just with not a ton, I'm not going to dump my whole brush in there, and I'm going to just start patting this down. I do want it full coverage. I just don't want it flying and floating and being crazy.
What? You don't?
Not
Weird.
weird. Usually I'm all for it, but
KH Therapy says, I'm really enjoying this. Thank you.
you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. We have a good time here.
We try. Okay, so I'm going to clean all of that out. And then I'm going to take the silver and I'm going to go up from the bottom.
I love this silver. Freaking CHERYL, man. It's so pretty.
So pretty. Now I'm not going to meet it totally because I want the pink to blend into the silver versus the silver blending into the pink. So I'm gonna pull this pink down over top.
And like burnish them together.
How pretty is
That
that?
is so stunning.
So pretty.
That's gonna be so pretty.
Now
top-coated.
I have a couple of options. I can burnish it, or which means to rub. So I could rub all of this so it becomes metallic. Or if I wanted it to stay kind of
glitzy.
yep, then I'm just gonna go over and kind of collect all of the loose pieces to remove those, and then I would go in with a layer of Give Me Strength, or Get a Grip, or Rubber Up, and then go in with my top coat, which would be probably in this case I would use Like a Diamond. But that is so pretty. So I'm going to show you just with some Give Me Strength clear what it will look like once you top coat.
Lather, rinse, repeat. Salon says, do you have cured or uncured gel on? It is cured.
It was cured.
So it's just, she just did that all in the tacky layer of the color that she had underneath.
There you go.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Wow.
Stunning, stunning, stunning. So again, with ombres, what you want to decide is, in Rachel's case, where she did that Aurora up, you have to figure out like how much of the nail is going to be the ombre, right? She only went up the first third. How much of the pink do I want to ombre? I only want the tip to be silver. Think about those things before you get started, because as you are doing it, that's not the time to decide. All of a sudden you'll be like, well, now my ratio's off.
I went too far.
It doesn't look like what I want, right? So, or when we're doing triple color, what if this was 4 colors? You have to decide how much you want of what color.
You have to like map it out before you touch the nail.
Absolutely. So just make those decisions prior to doing it on the nail. But we're gonna give that a cure.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Last but not least,
This is it's gonna be very exciting.
I haven't done this one in a long time.
It's so pretty, the outcome. I can't wait. You chose good ones.
Thanks.
You bet.
We'll see. We'll see if I.
You always make the right decisions for your clients. There's your daily affirmation.
Thank you.
You always make the right decisions for all of your clients.
If you ever need affirmations, just hit up Sarah. she's the best. Okay. Don't be tacky again. Okay, so right now I just have on what do I have on? I have a layer of Pipsqueak on this
cute
swatch.
Pipsqueak.
The color doesn't really matter.
Nope.
I just wanted something that was a little bit more pigmented, a little more full coverage than like a sheer pink.
Why does the color not matter?
Because I am putting 3 different full coverage metallic chromes over the top of it.
So full coverage versus
more of a semi-sheer.
Got it.
Or
Or
like
the
an
clear,
opaly-
like like Pandora is clear.
Yes.
Shelly is clear. Yep.
Yes. And I'm putting a layer of Don't Be Tacky over this. It's just your best friend when you're playing with chrome. And I have lint on this because it's been sitting out for a second. So we're gonna just float her over, because if you ever are doing chrome and you have bubbles or lint or debris of any kind on your nail and you're like putting your Don't Be Tacky, your chrome coat over it, your chrome will pick up every single piece of that.
I love that you just said chrome coat like it's a crumb coat.
Yeah.
Like on a cake.
Yeah. Chrome
It's
coat.
so good.
All right. So that's smooth. So we're going to cure that the whole time.
Okay, so a full 60-second cure is needed, especially when you are doing chrome. When do you use Don't Be Tacky versus the tacky layer of your color?
When you are using chrome, you use Don't Be Tacky. When you are using glitters or pigments or anything that you want to be more like flaky or glittery, you use the tacky layer. But anytime you're wanting it to be like chromy, like I could have done this over the tacky layer and it would have been just like a glittery effect. It would have looked just like a fine dust of like a holographic glitter. It just has a different effect.
Here, you can show her on this what it will look like, because that way they understand.
Sticky?
Yeah, it is sticky.
No, I put
Did you put Don't Be
over it.
Tacky?
Yeah.
Nope.
This one, that's Top It Off.
I don't have a sticky one.
That's okay.
Wah,
Would you ever use Shine On under your chrome?
No,
No.
absolutely not. Never. I would not suggest it.
No. I've done it before. It
It
doesn't
never.
last.
It doesn't work out. It's finicky. It's annoying. I would suggest just use Don't Be Tacky. Just make your life easy.
Yeah.
Don't fight it. use Don't Be Tacky.
The funny thing is that I have used so many different top coats and no wipe top coats for chrome, because before I even started working for Sarah, I wanted to like figure it out. And I used so many different ones, and this is the only one that I've ever found that like the chromes melt into this.
Totally.
So it is just so easy to use chrome when you're using Don't Be Tacky. Is like I basically don't see a reason to even try and use anything else.
I totally agree.
This is all that exists in my mind.
Yep. Works every time.
Don't really know what I'm doing. I was gonna do kind of like the splotchy, but now I'm kind of like, do I want to do like a horizontal ombre?
Try it. Let's play.
Have you ever done a horizontal ombre with chrome? No?
Let's do it on a live.
So kind of like what
we always joke, like, right? Yes, we've never done that before. Let's do it on the live, shall we?
Sure. Now we've got an audience, and this will be on the internet forever. Might as well try it now.
Perfect time.
So kind of like I did in the baby boomer ombre and in the ombre that I just did with Aurora, I'm going to just kind of tap and just very gently. I'm not like buffing it in or anything. I'm just lightly kind of tapping it where I want it to go.
Beauty by Crystalline asked, can you use Give Me Strength over the chrome before you top coat it?
Yes.
Yes, we would suggest that you do. So when we are here on a live, we just don't, sometimes we talk you through like the full process. We would suggest either Give Me Strength, Get a Grip, or Rubber Up as your next layer, and then a top coat. You do want to protect your chrome as much as possible. So we would not suggest going right in with Don't Be Tacky. We would suggest a layer in between.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't show that when we're on a little swatch.
Yeah. This is fun. Because they all just kind of like
they literally melt together.
But now I'm like, wait, where does the other one stop? And this one can begin.
It's good. It fades so nicely.
This is very, very subtle. I thought it was going to be a little bit more pigmented, but that is also because I'm using an applicator brush instead of like a chrome tool or a silicone tool, or even my finger would have a more intense effect. I'm just lightly kind of just blending them together like eyeshadow.
Really quickly, did all of you see the post about the educator program? We currently are accepting applications for people to become Magpie USA educators. So you can search for that post on our page, and then you would just email the requirements. The caption has all of the information, but you would just email that to magpiebeautyusa@gmail.com. And we will be taking applications through this coming Sunday, I believe. It's either Saturday or Sunday.
Love that.
Yes. So join our family of fun.
It's a good time. We really are fun. Okay, I'm going to just lightly buff my free edge. This is what you would do on a client if you are doing full chrome. You just buff your free edge so that your chrome basically is not going to chip, so that your top coat will stick to the gel that is underneath it.
That's so glass-like. It's so mesmerizing.
It's just so pretty. I'm interested to see what this will look like top coated. I'm gonna put a layer of Give Me Strength on top of this before I top coat, just to kind of seal everything in.
You could use Get a Grip here, you could use Rubber Up, or you could use Give Me Strength. We always try to tell you what options in case maybe you ran out of Give Me Strength, so what could you do in the meantime? You can use a different encapsulating gel. As long as it's a clear gel, we would just suggest something that is going to maybe give a little bit of flexibility, like Get a Grip or Rubber Up or Give Me Strength. Yep. Yeah. Any of those.
Yes. All right. And then once that is done curing, I'm going to go over the top of it with Don't Be Tacky, just so that it is not sticky. You could also use Top It Off. You could use like a diamond, whatever your favorite top coat is. Yep. I really love Don't Be Tacky lately, so this is nice. No more questions. Okay. Just checking.
Excellent.
Just making sure.
Do you have any questions while she's finishing up this
Yeah, it's our
nail
last thing.
in regards to chrome or ombres in general? How can we help you? Do you have a distributor in the U.S. or do you buy from the U.K.? We are the U.S. distributors here in the USA, Magpie Beauty USA. We do have a couple of small distributors. You can find that information on our website. But we are part of the company from the UK. The UK is the HQ company, and then we are the US distributors here.
Okay.
So while that is curing, we're just going to do a quick recap over everything that we've gone over today. We went over, today's whole Instagram live is about ombres, the different kinds of ombres that our clients request in the salon. So here we have a vertical ombre. You want to choose two colors that are going to blend nicely together. Don't make your life hard. Don't choose a black and a white. It's just never going to...
Ooh, or like a semi-sheer and a cream.
And a full, yep. Don't choose a semi-sheer and a full cream color. It just makes it very, very muddy and hard and difficult. The next was the horizontal ombre. This one takes a lot of practice. And as if you were to replay this video, you would see like I made a lot of errors and I haven't done this in quite some time. So I need to go back and practice making my blend really nice. However, I would put this on a client and I would be happy with that.
Yeah.
But could I do better? Absolutely. It just takes practice. It takes, you know, understanding the color wheel and things like that. But then I also showed you a couple of ways to camouflage and make it better for your client if you were feeling a little uneasy about it. And then we did an ombre with glitters, which that is always just fun. You just need to...
Seriously so pretty.
It's so pretty. Look at that. The glow getter.
It really
So-
does glow.
It really does. That hollow in there is so pretty. When you're doing ombres with glitters, you just want to consider like how much you want of what color and make sure that you plan accordingly on the nail rather than going in with it blind. Then Rachel, she went over at the ever popular Baby Boomer, which that gets an A++. Isn't that just so pretty?
Do you want to know how long it's been since I did that? Since
like-
baby was born.
It's like
Since
riding
it
a
came
bike.
out.
Rachel is a pro.
Once a year. That's
And then
enough.
she showed you an aurora or a chrome fade, which that is considered also an ombre, and a fade is an ombre. And then she blended 3 different chrome powders together. So that was a lot of information in today's live, and we hope that you found it helpful. Of course, we're always here to answer your questions. You can message us here on Instagram, or you can email us info@magpiebeautyusa.com. Don't forget to download the app. We will not be available next week because we are going to the Oregon Expo. So if you are going to the Oregon Expo, we can't wait to see you. But we are traveling back on Monday, so we will not be here next week, but we will be here the following week, and we can't wait to be back with you. And anything else that I missed?
I don't think so.
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful 2 weeks, and we will see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Bye.